Did you know that gut microbiome could be hijacking your brain health? Things like brain fog, anxiety, depression, lack of concentration, attention span can all be linked back to how your gut microbiome is feeding your brain. If you've been dealing with bloating or gut intolerances or some weird health issues, you might be dealing with a SIBO or a gut dysbiosis. But the thing is, it's not just going to stop at your gut. The way your gut and your brain interact and fuel your metabolic system all have implications into brain health, metabolic health, cellular health, hormone balances, and a lot of other health concerns, all stemming from your gut. Hey, I'm Dr. Brad DeBeer, and I'm with Axon Integrative Health. I'm here to talk to you today about how functional medicine and functional neurology can have great impacts into health and SIBO and gut dysbiosis. Let's start with the basics. So SIBO, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, happens when your gut microbiome from your large intestines moves up into your small intestines, and it creates things like bloating, gas, inflammation, and it's uncomfortable when we eat. It's hard to break down foods. Gut dysbiosis is a much broader term, and it just means the dysregulation of the gut microbiome, or the good guys and the bad guys. We always have a base microbiome that are the good guys that have daily impacts on exposures to some of these bad guys that happen every day, regardless of how we feel or if we're feeling good or bad. These bad microbiome bacteria are always present, but the good guys usually keep the bad guys at bay. When they don't, things like cognition, mood, sleep can all be affected, and that's when we have just a generalized dysbiosis. But why does this happen? This is the functional medicine and functional neurology approach to SIBO and dysbiosis. Your gut-brain axis is a direct connection from your brain into your gut, and primarily this microbiome and how it produces. The gut-brain axis is this highway of nervous tissue. The gut-brain axis is usually the one at play here. This is where the brain and the gut create this interplay or this directional communication and help regulate each other. When your brain isn't sending the right signals to your gut, or your gut's not sending the right signals to your brain, this miscommunication tends to lead to what's called low motility. And this does have a play with sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system, and how this plays at moving blood to and from your gut so that nutrition can happen. And we can get the nutrients from the foods that we're eating at the proper motility speeds and passing through rates. When we have a low motility, this food can end up sitting in our gut for longer times, fermenting and encouraging the growth of some of these bacterial strains in the small intestines and or a lack of change in the rest of the gut. Poor diet, nutrition, stress, toxin exposures, hormone imbalances, poor sleep can all lead into this as well. And they can all be symptoms of this as well. So making sure that we're eating well and eating good foods that have high in fiber, good proteins, good carbs, good fats. We're making sure that we're practicing good sleep hygiene, viewing sunrise, sunset, getting a good 8 hours, shutting the lights off an hour before bed, and really trying to calm the nervous system down. We're also really looking at exercise and stress management. Exercise is going to help blood flow and help this parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous system alteration and being able to switch between the two. And stress management, breath work or exercise or nature or hanging out with friends or whatever it may be is going to help regulate your cortisol response, your HPA axis. It's going to help you stay into this parasympathetic tone where the blood to your gut is increased and can actually help with this nutrition, pulling from the food. It can also help with the motility of the gut as well. If you have brain fog, fatigue, migraines, headaches, all the way to chronic pain, anxiety, or cognitive issues, the gut might be your missing piece. So how do we fix this? It's usually through a series of targeted approaches, helping to maintain the good guys in the gut and really producing things that are going to help those good guys drive out more of the bad guys, even before we start just trying to kill off the bad guys. We really try to promote good bacteria while really soothing the inflammation within the gut. making sure that we can get the nutrients from these foods and supplements and things like that we're going to have you do is important. And we need to make sure that the gut is in a healthy state to do so. Making sure that it's calmed down in inflammation and modulated in that fashion is really going to help the healing process. How do we fix this? In a traditional sense, individuals or practitioners opt for antibiotics, and this can be effective at certain stages. However, it doesn't necessarily address the nervous system, and it wipes out all the bacteria. So you're still required to rebuild the good guy colonies in hopes that the bad guys don't return. It can be effective, but it's usually not our first option here at Axon. So at Axon, we start off with advanced gut testing and a physical examination. We want to make sure what it is that we're actually dealing with and have objective measures and numbers to then compare to when we're moving through care to see if we're progressing in the right way. If not, then we need to alter some things up, right? But we start off with testing and examination, and then we build this treatment plan together. Oftentimes it does include things like IV therapies, neuromodulation, hyperbaric oxygen, acupuncture, and supplements at home that are all going to go together to regulate the nervous system, improve cellular health, control inflammation, and induce what's called neuroplasticity. As we move through care, we're going to start doing things like sensory motor integration, neural rhythm timing, eye movement training, and other things like maybe vagus nerve stimulation, pulse electromagnetic frequencies, and red light therapy. These things are all going to be targeting brain regulation and cellular health to help stabilize and optimize your system so that these things don't happen again. So if you've been dealing with fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, mood swings, and other odd neurological functions, it might be your gut. Give us a call and we can get these things situated and tested for and see if this really is the cause of your symptoms. Healing isn't just about killing off bad bacteria. It's about creating an environment where your good bacteria can thrive, your nervous system is regulated, and your brain is able to then manage this system without continuous inputs. If you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and give us a follow. We're trying to do more content like this. Sometimes comes out on a regular basis, sometimes not, just because of how busy we can be within the clinic. But stay tuned. If you do want to see any other videos, leave a comment below and let us know. I'd be happy to make other videos around other topics, subjects, conditions, injuries, or concerns, and just help the public know a little more about healthcare. Here at Axon, we are trying to change the paradigm of healthcare. Join the team and let's keep pushing forward.